days in Sports Sound don't come much bigger than this. It's time for the first of 3 commentaries for you today, and what a match to kick us off. The players are in the tunnel. It's Celtic against Rangers with Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Thank you, Kenny, and good afternoon to you. The sun splits the sky here in Glasgow, and Glasgow's 40-year grip on the Scottish top flight title is under as much pressure as it has been for many a year, perhaps going back to an Aberdeen side in the early 90s, the Hearts team in the late 90s, Aberdeen in the mid-2010s also had a go at Ronnie Dyla's Celtic. The maroon and white half of Edinburgh will be looking at the outcome of this with huge interest, given they already enjoy a 3-point advantage at the top on Celtic. If this is a draw, they will have an opportunity to extend that when they host Livingston later on today. But for now, all eyes are on Celtic Park, and a huge match between these two have been beleaguered at times at different stages of this season, which is at the halfway point now. Stephen McQueen, the referee, taking charge of his 4th Celtic Rangers game, leads out the 2 sets of players down below us onto the pitch. Barely a seat to be had as I look around the stadium here. The Rangers supporters waving their red, white and blue flags off to our right. And the Celtic supporters have come, and there will be an expectation despite their recent troubles, and they were underlined during the week there on Tuesday as they were put to the sword by Motherwell, who were even more impressive than they have been in what's been an impressive season for the Steelmen, who might yet get themselves embroiled in a title race themselves. But for these two, given the financial advantages that these two have on the other clubs, pretty unthinkable that one of the other teams can usurp the dominance that we have witnessed over 4 decades. The 2 starting 11s for this game, if you missed them earlier. 3 changes for Celtic from the side, well beaten at Fir Park. Engels, McCowan and Kenny come in for Scales, Bernardo and Hatate. There's a place on the bench for the new signing, Julian Araujo, who has come in from Bournemouth on loan. And he's only made 1 appearance this season, and that was in the English League Cup, and he was sent off in a defeat to Brentford, so he is fit only for the bench. So Schmeichel in goal, Ralston, Trusty, Tierney, Young, Engels, McGregor, McCowan, Nygren, Maida and Kenny. The bench, Sinisalo, Scales, Shinyamada, Araujo, Bernardo, Hatate, Murray, Forrest and Donovan. Rangers, 2 changes from the side that beat St Mirren during the week. Narrow victory, and to survive the penalty incident as well. Sterling and Barron come in for Tavernier and Diamonde. It's Butland in goal. We'll wait and see how they shoot. But Shooter, Fernandez, Mekoma, Sterling, Gashama, Raskan, Asgar, Barron, Moore and Sharmiti. The Rangers bench is Kelly, Tavernier, Aarons, Diamonde and Ciala, Dowell, Miovski, Curtis and Danilo. Well, before we get underway, the flag's at half-mast here at Celtic Park. That is in tribute to the late, great John Robertson, who spent those 5 years here as assistant manager to Martin O'Neill. And it was a magnificent trophy-laden period that really sowed the seeds of the 2.5 decades that Celtic have enjoyed unbridled success in. 2-time European Cup winner with Nottingham Forest, of course, scored the winner against Hamburg in the 1980 final in Madrid as they made it back-to-back. And a minute's applause for John Robertson ahead of this one. Well, when he scored the winner in that 1980 final, he was one of 4 Scots to start. And he was one of 3 to start the year before when they beat Malmo. 28 times capped for Scotland, scored the winner against England in that famous game, and also against New Zealand at the 1982 World Cup finals in Spain. John Robertson remembered ahead of this second league Old Firm meeting of the season. It was one in the League Cup semis. The game at Ibrox in the Premiership was a fairly dull, goalless stalemate. 3-1 Celtic won the semi-final after extra time. The kick-off is now upon us. It's going to be Rangers who are going to get things underway in the blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops, going right to left towards the Jockstein stand, west end of the stadium, as we watch from the main stand. Celtic in the green and white hoops. Raskin takes the first touch of the ball and shifts it all the way back to Jack Butland, who launches it forward with the right foot. Out to that far side it goes. Sterling wins the header and it drops to the feet of JD Gassama. Up against Tierney, down to the corner flag. Rangers looking to start on the front foot here. It's Gassama looking to win a corner. He's won a throw-in only, but it's deep inside Celtic territory as the visitors look to try and make inroads early in the piece here. They will smell blood, of course. Just 2 wins out of 7 for Wilfried Nancy, who stands hands in pockets at the right angle of his technical area down below us. Short throw in taken to Taylor Wasgard's got 2 goals in his last 2 games. He's dribbling in field. Turns it back to Barron, who rolls it back to the captain for the day, Suter, with Tavernier on the bench this afternoon. Out to Mekoma on this near side. They come all the way back to the halfway line, and Mekoma goes all the way back to Jack Butland at the edge of his box before he launches it down that right side again, looking for Shamiti, headed away by Tierney. Poor touch from Gassama has allowed McCowan in to clear with the left foot down that far side, where Suter gets onto it and rolls it back to Butland. Interesting, Pat Bonner, to see Yang starting on the right again, despite the inclusion of Luke McCowan, who has played on the right this season. Yang continuing over on his less favoured side of the pitch.
Yeah, McCowan's gone over onto the left-hand side, as we've seen against Motherwell. He did that after 10 minutes and when he came on the pitch, and he'll drop in there, and Maeda will be further up the pitch and almost playing as an orthodox winger, but Yang will be expected to work the whole right-hand side, which is not easy for any player. I've got to say to you, you've got to get in the box at times, you've got to defend the back post for your own team, so you've got to be really switched on and picking your positions, and your timing has got to be bang on also.
Goalless in the opening couple of minutes. Billy, Rangers, have they set up as you expected them to?
I'm just watching this.
It's gone all the way through to Schmeichel. He gets it clear.
Yeah, it does look like that. I mean, they are a 4 at times. Sterling going really wide, but then that's in possession. They push Gassama really high and just go a 4. But out of possession, you can see Gassama on that right, Magoma here. So they roll into a 4 at times, but setting up as a 5 as well.
Celtic on the ball here, and it's with Ralston, who rolls it back to Kasper Schmeichel. Short with his ball, led to the second Motherwell goal, and he's given it away again here. Raskin moving it forward, looking for Barron. It comes all the way through though to Schmeichel again, who rolls it out to Ralston on this near side. Raskin, of course, scored very early on when Rangers were here last time when they won 3-2. Billy was obviously part of the coaching setup for that one, settled by a Hamza Igaman goal and what was a seesaw battle. That's rolled by Schmeichel to his left for Austin Trusty. Both teams were in a much better frame of mind at that point, albeit Rangers have gone pretty well in the league under Danny Rule. Just that one defeat at Tynecastle a couple of weekends ago, as Ralston goes long down the right side looking for Yang, but he slips just as McComa is able to get it clear out to this near side. Fernandez out of position a little bit here over on the near side touchline, and then he smashes into the face of Arna Engels. First real flashpoint in the game, and Callum McGregor's making the point to the referee that Fernandez has elbowed Engels in the face here. 3.5 minutes in, 0-0. Now the referee, I think, was giving that Rangers way as a throw-in, so he's not seen anything untoward. But we await to see what Kevin Clancy, the video assistant, has to make of it.
Yeah, it's one of them where he's obviously holding back. Is it Engels who's up against him? And it is an elbow in the face, which is on. Listen, you know, the assistant's watching it also. He's within about 2 yards from it. So it'll be interesting to see if VAR picks up on this. But he's kind of almost holding them off, and then he goes, and well, he's kind of been half fouled probably himself. He then reacts.
It's whether they deem it intentional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he looks as if he's got away with it.
He has. It's game on. Yeah. Well, it's a definite elbow in the face. It was just one of those. Engels was kind of pulling and prodding at him, trying to win the ball back. Fernandes holding him off, and he got a bit frustrated with Engels' attentions, and he stuck out an arm, but the VAR and the referee both happy with it. It's a long ball from Butland, which is flicked on by Yang. It breaks to Raskan, who's midway inside Celtic territory. Rolls it to Sterling, and then out to the far side for Gassama, who will attack McCowan here. Level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box. It is Gassama. And forced out wide to the touchline. Rolls it to Asgard, who finds Barron, and he rolls it back to Suter. Right of the centre circle, but in the Celtic half. Suter squares it. He's not a great ball to Fernandes, though the big defender does get there eventually. It's the backtrack, and then goes back to Butland, who launches it forward with the left foot first time. Underneath it is Tierney with a head, but it's gone straight to Sterling. You can hear 5 minutes in already. Signs of frustration and angst amongst the Celtic supporters. It's a long ball for Chermiti to chase. Chermiti's on the ball, but he's brought down Tierney. Celtic free kick deep inside their own half. Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
Not for a long time, Liam, have I ever heard this. Well, not heard the Celtic fans. They are not sure where they are. They usually are willing their team on. The noise is raucous when you come here, but there is so much uncertainty here today. You can feel it, and it's because Rangers are controlling the game, getting plenty of possession, and Celtic haven't started well.
Goodness knows what the future will hold for Wilfried Nancy if Celtic lose this football match this afternoon. Pat, you've had a chance to have a look back at the Fernandes elbow.
He's very lucky, I've got to say, when I look at it. He's getting pulled a little bit, as you rightly said, Liam, but ultimately he elbows Engels in the face, and currently in the way the rules are and all that, he is a very, very lucky man.
Well, of course, Rangers were down to 10 men for much of that League Cup semi when Taylor Asgard was sent off not too long after Celtic went 1-0 up in the game. Johnny Kenny is on the pitch this afternoon, though we've mentioned him. He's making any contributions as yet, still quite early in the piece. Asgard's in it, nicked off by McCowan, then there's a little tug back at his jersey. The referee spotted it and goes to his pocket, and there's a yellow card for a man who, as I just said, was ordered off at Hampden.
Yeah, it's the correct decision. I mean, once McCowan gets goal side the Asgard, he just has a little tug at it, lets it go pretty quickly, but stopped a promising attack. It's a correct decision to show him a yellow.
I'll be in Danny Rule's mind, though, because he was the Rangers manager. You're trying to remember who the managers were for the other two meetings between these two this season. It was Russell Martin against Brendan Rodgers. Those giddy days of early autumn. And Martin O'Neill, of course, in interim charge against Danny Rule at the National Stadium. And it's Rule against Nancy. It's Rangers on the ball here. They've won it back on the right-hand side in the Celtic half with Barron. Rolls it back to the edge of the centre circle for Raskan, who guides it out to Gassama. Chance to cross. It's a dreadful ball in, though. Sails over the bar, and it stays after 7.5 minutes. Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, but it's that ball from Trusty, that sort of a straight pass into midfield, into a player running towards him, and he ends up getting the balls won by Barron, and then suddenly Tierney's out of position, and Trusty's sort of almost left 1v1 at the back. And that it becomes really, really dangerous.
Rangers have got flexibility, Liam, because see, when Celtic in possession, you said it yourself, Fernandes or the other one, whether it's Suter stepping in or Sterling, but in the main, Fernandes is stepped right in with Nygren. I mean, he is going halfway line, and then Rangers just fill in. It's two centre halves are trying to get a back four in place, but not scared to step
ball
right
that by Engels in behind for Kenny, right hand side of the box to the byline, fires it across, no takers. Maida didn't get there in time. It's good from Celtic. It's a brilliant ball by Arne Engels. Kenny did all he could. There was nobody there to tap it home, and that'll give Celtic and their supporters a real bit of hope there. Rangers caught flat-footed at the back. It comes to nothing. Here comes Celtic again with McCowan. Low ball in from the left is blocked and cleared. And you can hear what the fans make of that. Little bit of positive play. In behind, opportunity knocks, and the fans are on side, even if it hasn't resulted in a goal.
Yeah, it was a good run and a good pass, but I thought Maeda was actually, here's another opportunity.
Yeah, Nygren in for Maeda. The challenge comes from Sterling. He's won the ball though. The Celtic fans don't think he did. This game begins to catch fire here at Celtic Park. It is goalless though, getting towards 10 minutes.
I was going to say I thought Maeda was just going to go into the back post and easily win that ball. He can almost change his run a little bit to come across to the near post, and he was just a yard short when that ball was sort of flashed across the almost about 3 yards out from goal.
Real worry defensively for Rangers though, Billy, I would have thought.
It was pretty basic, wasn't it? It was just a channel ball turned in behind. Kenny's gone. They can't get numbers up support, but it's a great ball across
Celtic. Brilliant build-up. It's found Benjamin Nygren on the left. It's an ambitious crossfield ball looking for Yang. Can he find him? Not quite. Comes all the way out right-hand side of the box. Yang keeps it in play. Bundles it back to Ralston. Out to Yang. Celtic sparking into life for the first time in the match. McGregor finds McCowan, shoots from distance. Dragged well wide with the left foot. 25 odd yards from goal. It will be a goal kick to Rangers. It will stay 0-0, but it's a good couple of minutes for the champions.
Yeah, a lovely bit of play from Celtic. One touch pass and cut Rangers defence apart, and Nygren was almost through. I was surprised that he actually tried the crossfield pass to Yang when he should have drove into the box and commit a defender, and then maybe he would have players joining him in.
Absolutely, that part. I can't believe he never drove at least another 20 yards.
Home under pressure from Yang. Again, he's not won the ball, Yang, but the appreciation from the fans is there for all to hear and see. Sharmiti's been caught just to the left of the centre circle inside his own half, and it will be a Rangers free kick. Not sure whose challenge it was, though. Engels
Ralston.
Ralston, yeah.
Do you know what, Liam? I thought Ralston was favourite to get that ball part, and then he hesitated, and then he has to throw himself into the challenge instead of just going and taking control of the situation.
Well, there was silverware in 2025 for Celtic, but there were also 16 defeats across the calendar year, compared to just 2 in 2024. That includes the penalty shootout losses to Kairat and Aberdeen across the few months between May and August, as Mikey Moore leaves a throw-in for Rangers to Jayden McHoma midway inside the Celtic half on the Rangers left as they attack the goal to the left.
Yeah, it's been a good start today from Celtic, actually, and they're doing what he didn't do against Motherwell: penetration, running in behind, and it's worked for them at the start of this game.
Well, nice little passes out of midfield from Celtic. Here's Arne Engels going to produce another, and he has done, out to the left from McCowan. Maeda running ahead of him. It might break Nygren's ways at the edge of the box. And a little bit of last-ditch defending. It's good there from Nicholas Raskan on his 18-yard line to get it away, because he was under all kinds of pressure there as it was out of play for a throw into Rangers on the near side. The Celtic fans think it should have gone the other way.
Yeah, an aggressive start from Celtic, has it? It has been, again, something that was missing against Motherwell.
Fernandez gives it away from the edge of his box. McGregor out wide here. It's Kenny. Rolls it across, blocked by Fernandez. Nygren slides in to keep it alive. Gets it back out wide right for Kenny. Goes back to the right angle of the box for McGregor. Pushes it back to Yang, then to McGregor again. Level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Rolls it back to Ralston. 10 yards from the near side touchline to McGregor, midway inside the Rangers half. Back to Ralston, now with Nygren. First time ball out to Yang, low, driven across, just evades Arne Engels, and Rangers get it clear. Really good spell this for Celtic. Ralston, was he caught by Sharmiti? He's gone down as if he has done. The ball was long gone. Here's Callum McGregor on the ball here on the halfway line, out to Yang, looks to slip it through to Nygren. Troubled times for Rangers. This is Nygren across and behind by Suter for the corner. So much better from Celtic. We've seen more of them in the last 5 minutes of football here than we saw in the entirety at Fir Park on Tuesday.
Yeah, just players running forward and passes then, being slipped through to them and creating all sorts of problems for Rangers. They haven't been able to convert, though. That's the key.
Engels will take, outswinger with the right boot right in front of the Rangers support. Off to our right. He sizes up the Rangers box. Everyone back in blue, and it comes as a free header. It's wide from Trusty. Butland's not even dived for that. If it's on target, it is a goal. But it stays Celtic 0. Rangers nil, and Jack Butland and his defenders are mightily relieved about that right now.
Yeah, listen, if it was on target, Butland had no chance. He got power, really got up really high, Trusty, on that occasion. Got really good contact. I'm surprised he actually didn't hit the target from where he was. He was almost in the middle of the goal, and he's hit it wide of the left-hand post.
He's got to score for me.
Yeah, best chance of the game so far falls to Austin Trusty. He's done a good defensive job there as he slides in on a rampaging Sterling down the right side. It's gone out for a Rangers throw-in, but this is level with the Celtic penalty spot. As Rangers just try and find a bit of calm amidst the storm. That's what it's been, a little bit of a whirlwind from Celtic in the last period of time. To exert themselves, a short throw into Asgard. It's been caught on the far side. Rangers free kick, level with the edge of the arc of the Celtic box this time, and it's right on the north stand side touchline.
Yeah, it's a silly foul for me.
Especially when you and I were talking before the game, Pat, about the height advantage for Rangers. Celtic are not a tall team at all, and Rangers have plenty. They've got a set piece coach in as well. You would think this is a big opportunity to be a threat.
Opportunity then for Rangers, and defending has not exactly been Celtic's forte recently, as Connor Barron waits to take over on that far side. Stephen McLean just sorting out a little bit of pushing in the box.
Yeah, the interesting setup here is that you can see Rangers players all standing almost in an offside position. That's there to block defenders and for somebody else then to make movement, and this ball I think will go all the way to the back post.
Does Connor Barron have the quality?
It's like as if Rangers were defending the free kick, isn't it, Billy?
It's how it would appear.
They're in a group, back area as you said, Pat.
Here goes Barron now, right-footed into the box. It's headed away by the first man, who was Maida, and then fresh air from Gassama. He gets a second chance to nod it back to McHoma. Lumps it up high into the air towards the edge of the Celtic box, when it's headed away by Ralston. Sterling's touch, couldn't find Fernandez. Now it's with Kenny, tries to sweep it forward, it's cut out, but it does break away. A Yang on the near side, halfway line, ball in field is cut out by Dujon Sterling, but Asgard's left it. There's a misunderstanding, and McCowan overhits the ball with the outside of the left foot, and it was behind for a Rangers goal kick, and it will stay Celtic nil, Rangers nil on 16.5 minutes.
It's unbelievable opportunities for Celtic, but Pat, you can see that they're playing with a lack of confidence, because for me Yang's ball should have been round behind the Rangers defence, and he puts it inside them, gives Rangers a chance to recover. And then same with McCowan, he picks up the ball, he just overhits the passer. But great opportunities, great space, but just taking the wrong option or a clumsy pass.
Yeah, what they're doing today is that they're working really hard and they're aggressive in their approach. You're right, the confidence then when they're on the ball is the thing that's just maybe lacking, but they're creating chances and they've got the crowd up for it. They're desperate for that first goal.
Rangers free kick in the centre circle, Suter with it, out to McHoma. Can he control? Yes, he can, and he's managed to win the corner off Yang. First of the match for the visitors.
Yeah, and again, you know, this is danger for Celtic. They don't have a lot of height. Trusty is probably the biggest. The rest, you could maybe look at Kenny, maybe Negrin. Those are round about maybe 5'11", 6 foot. And of course, you've got Suter, you've got... I'm looking at Fernandez, big one.
Yeah, 6 foot 4, Fernandez.
big player also. All 2, 3, 4 players, all 6 foot 2, 3.
Asgard's pretty tall too. Yeah. Barron over this corner. Is it better than the free kick? It's very deep towards Sharmiti, heads it down. It's cleared by Trusty only as far as Gassama. Right hand side of the box, ball across is cut out. Sterling goes for it, bounces off him though. And behind for the goal kick. Will stay Celtic nil, Rangers nil on 18 minutes, but it's obvious that both clubs are having a problem. When you look at the league table, Celtic on 38 points after the first half of the league campaign, their poorest points return at this stage since John Barnes was in charge in 98-99. Rangers still enduring their worst opening half to a season since Paul Le Guen was the manager in 2006 into 2007. Indeed, Le Guen was sacked at this point 18 years ago. As Tierney picks up on the halfway line and knocks it out to McCowan. First time for Maida. Maida's low ball in. Chance for Kenny! And Butland saves! It's straight at the keeper. And Fernandes somehow prevents the corner. That's a glaring opportunity again for Celtic. They've had 2 in the last few minutes. It's to Celtic nil, Rangers nil.
Yeah, one in the ball in midfield, one in that first phase, and then they go and again in behind. Here they are on the run again.
Yeah, Yang, brilliant run into the box, shoots, goal! Yang Jun has just produced his best moment in a Celtic jersey. A mazy run into the Rangers box, and he smashes it past Butland into the roof of the net to give the beleaguered champions the lead in the derby. It is magnificent from the South Korean, and it is Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Oh, what a great goal from Yang. Pace, trickery, running with the ball, cuts on the inside, the space opens up, he goes for it, runs past the Rangers defence, and then finishes high up into the net. Real good power on the strike. I don't think Butland had any chance, Billy, I'm not sure. I know it's kind of on the near post, but he's kind of almost, but the power, I think, beats him.
I'm not so sure, but I think Butland should do better. Anyway, it's a brilliant strike by Yang. Yeah, there's no doubt the power beats him. Celtic have been cutting through Rangers, there's no doubt. They maybe lack that finishing poise, the last pass, but that time when Yang gets here, he just shells a shot, and Butland, yeah, at the near post, maybe the power beats him. I think if you're guarding the near post properly, the Rangers goalkeeper should maybe save that.
Well, it looks like Celtic have something to prove today, that's for sure, because we're now, 20 minutes into this game, and it's been a terrific start from Celtic, creating chance after chance, aggressive in their play.
They have been cutting through Rangers. Even the chance before, it was Tierney driving, then that sucks Gassama, he passes to Maeda, Sterling goes out late, but that time he's already made the pass, and then they have the opportunity with Kenny, who should have scored as well. So they're cutting through Rangers have got to have a look at that, but Celtic have started well. I thought they might have been lacking a little finishing touch, but they've shown now by getting themselves in front.
Yeah, and that long ball is switched out to the left-hand side for Maeda over the head of Sterling, who reacts well. Maeda's managed to win it back and play it back to Tierney. McGregor, square to Engels, and now Ralston. And out to Yang on this near side. The goal scorer, proving what he can do there. He scored a really important goal in Rotterdam as well, but that supersedes it, I would have thought.
That would give him huge confidence in this game. You know, you score a goal like that against your biggest rivals here at home. He should be absolutely flying for the rest of this game now.
4th of the season for Yang. Celtic in front, Celtic on the ball, Celtic bossing things. Engels back into the centre circle for Ralston, and out to the Yang on this near side. Left foot ball to the right angle of the box for Nygren. Was Raskin holding him? The referee doesn't think so. The supporters in the main stand around about this have a very different opinion of that, as Raskin spins 360 degrees, been held by his countryman Engels.
How's that not yellow?
It's going to be a free kick to Rangers on this near side.
He's booked Asgard for the exact same thing. There's got to be a yellow. Consistency.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that professional foul. Stephen McLean let it go at just the free kicks. Back Butland, who clears with the right foot down that far side. Shamiti wins it in the air, but it drops to McCowan and back to Trusty. Danny Rose going to have to be careful here, Billy, because this could get away from him pretty quickly. Despite the ills of Celtic right now, clearly a team still capable of a performance like this, and they get another goal. The Rangers are bang up against it if they are not already.
Yeah, they probably know that they're springing Gassama at times. He's in a central position, but he has been playing right, but he's getting on to Tierney, and that's spreading Rangers to a back 4, and it's leaving gaps, and sometimes you struggle to get through it. But Celtic have made runs, as Pat's been saying, to get through that back 4 at times.
There's Mikey Moore's probably his first proper touch of the ball. Great challenge by Yang, who wins it back. Now Callum McGregor drives forward down this right-hand side. Still he goes. Eventually it's to check his run. The challenge comes from Barron, and out for a Celtic throw-in.
Yeah, good determined play again from McGregor, leading by example.
And from Yang.
Yeah.
The desire there's, I mean, everyone can see it. The desire from the Celtic players.
Yeah, that was
exemplified by
against
Yang.
Motherwell. Liam, it was incredible, the lack of fight against Motherwell. Obviously they've watched the game, they've realised that themselves. The fans will not let them away with that. Today has been exemplary.
It was as pure a Celtic performance as I've ever seen the other night, and that should take nothing away from an exceptional Motherwell performance. They just couldn't live with him. That's a dreadful ball by Trusty. Now Rangers have it with Gassama, driving forward, right-hand side of the box, plays it across. There's louping up into the air off Ralston. Schmeichel's been beaten too by Moore, now he's out of position. Moore plays it across, it's blocked by Ralston, not that he knew much about it. And Celtic come away with it with Engels. They have got away with one there, particularly Austin Trusty and then Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, first
1-0 Celtic.
First big mistake. There was a little mistake earlier on too when he passed it into midfield. Those are the key decisions that you can't make in a game like this.
Here's Moore for Rangers. He's got McHoma on the left. Poor ball eaten up there by Yang, who's now driving forward. He's managed to nick it through to Kenny. Up against Shooter. Kenny at the edge of the box. His shot's blocked. And it pins off Raskan. And back to Jack Butland, who claims on the left-hand side of his box. My goodness, Johnny Kenny got plenty behind that. Would have been really interesting to see where that was going to end up had it not been blocked by the defender. 24.5 played. Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, and Johnny Kenny's pace, that's what his game's all about. Sliding those little balls in behind the defenders for him to run onto, not playing into his feet to hold the game up. Yes, he'll do a bit of that, but the main threat for him is in behind.
There's Dujon Sterling over on the right-hand side, rolling it back to Barron and infield to Raskan. Nicks it forward towards Asgard, might break. Gassama's way it has. Gassama lifts it over Schmeichel, and it's wide. But it's taken a deflection and behind. I'm not sure Schmeichel got the touch there. I think he's got something on it, and it will go behind for the corner, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
So important, yeah, such an important touch, and it's a goal. Gassama showing his pace, dinks it, tries to dink Schmeichel, he gets something on it, and you're right, Liam, I'm like you're waiting, it's slow motion, you're waiting for it just to fall into the net. It falls wide of the post.
Was it a Rangers player or a Celtic player to hit that? Because it took everybody by surprise.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mistake, I think, Pat.
Well, it's closest Rangers have come to scoring. It's a word of warning for Celtic for sure. Rangers corner. Connor Barron, outswinger with the right foot over in that northwest corner of the stadium. Rangers attack the goal to our left, a low ball in, and it's atrocious from Barron and cleared by Yang out to the far side where Mikey Moore gets onto it. Moore looks up, right foot, raking ball, far side of the box, killed in the chest by Gassama, takes another touch which lets him down, and Celtic able to get it away. Flag's gone up anyway, but it's a play on because Celtic have an advantage and they've got a 3-on-1 here. Kenny rolls it to Maida. Little bit of momentum's been killed here, but it's Maida out to Kenny. He's at the edge of the box, looking to get in the left foot, he shoots, it's blocked. Breaks to Maida, still inside the area, back to Arne Engels. Level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box, chips it with the right foot onto the left foot of Tierney, left central area. Tierney takes it for a run out wide here, level with the Rangers 18-yard line now. Back to McCowan and infield to McGregor, who squares it for Ralston. And he squares it to his left for Nygren at the edge of the box. Couldn't find Engels. Important block by one of the Rangers defenders. Might have been Fernandez. Rangers get it away. It's now with Moore, who's done well to get it through to Sharmiti. Sharmiti looking to do likewise to get it to Gassama. Blocked by Yanglo. And now it's with Engels on this near side. Engels through for Nygren. 2 and Greenaway hooks in the middle. Across it comes. It's behind both of them. And it breaks Connor Barron's way over on the far side. It's breathless stuff at times. Sometimes the quality's not there, but Celtic have been popping it around pretty well. As Ralston beats Moore to it on the slide. It comes all the way through to Butland, and it will stay. Celtic 1, Rangers 0, 27.5 on the clock.
Sorry, Pat, that's exactly it. I mean, it's just the quality at times, because Celtic have had so many chances. I'm telling you, Fernandez looks as if he's towing a caravan, and they're playing down that side, and Nygren's just running beyond them. There's no recovery, and it's not the first. Kenny's been down this channel as well. Celtic are just trying to cut through Rangers as quick as they can. What do you do about that then? If you're the Rangers manager, well, you've been in that dugout, what do you do? They have gone a 4 now, and Dujon Sterling is playing out in that right hand side. To start with, Gassama was playing the right, but he was springing quickly onto Tierney, and they have rolled round at times to a 5 and a 4, but they're an out-and-out 4 just now. That might change again, but here you go again. Fernandez is going to get onto that one. He turns away from Kenny, rolls it short to Raskan.
Totally agree with what Billy was saying there about Fernandez. It looks as if he's just playing at his own pace. You know, the game is so hectic, and Celtic are running off the ball, and they're going into those. He's almost just trying to get into the game and be nice and casual.
They've definitely targeted that area, Pat.
Yep.
To come later today, another derby, another huge match. Dundee United against Dundee, live from Tannadice to follow Falkirk, Aberdeen, Hearts, Livingston, Kilmarnock, Hibs, Motherwell, St Mirren, making up the Premiership card. Championship action as well, of course, all the action across the matches that have survived the weather. St Johnstone, the league leaders, against third placed Arbroath. Partick Thistle against Morton. Ian Murray's first game in charge of the Greenock team. And they go to this very city to take on Partick Thistle. Dunfermline against Ross County, one of the matches to fall foul of the weather, and I know that some people are having difficulty, particularly from up north, getting to games today because of the snow. No problem here in Glasgow. Sunny day, dry day, cold day. Celtic's day so far as we approach the half hour. They lead 1-0. Kenny goes down on the... In fact, McCowan going down on the far side. No foul, says Stephen McLean. And
oh my word.
Chips it. He's looking for Meg Homa. It's Yang instead. The header forward. Kenny goes down inside the box. Fernandez's challenge. There's no real appeal from the Celtic team as that goes out of play off Nygren and out for a Rangers throw-in. Rangers need to regroup here. Danny Rowell taking a swig from his water bottle down below us.
He's got to have a word with Fernandez. He's got to have a word with him. I was just waiting for Kenny just to nick it, and he was going to take him down. He just got enough on the ball to make the referee make a decision in his own way, but it just was looking at me. Look, I don't know what you felt about that, Billy, but it looked as if he was going to get caught.
Well, I
just because of his body language.
I just want to ask Billy, because obviously Billy and the guys took off Clinton and Nsiala at Rugby Park when he was clearly struggling, albeit Kilmarnock scored twice at that point. It looks a matter of time before Celtic score again here. I just wonder if he looks at a rejig. Tavernier's on the bench. You could then put Sterling and Suter into that back three.
Yeah, it's like a 4-2-3-1 at times, Rangers, and Asgard playing in behind Chermiti, but there's times when it does roll into that back five. Not a lot.
There's another one. Another ball through to Kenny, in behind Fernandez. Kenny's on to it, forced wide on this near side. Back it comes to McGregor, and then back to Ralston.
Every time the Celtic get a ball and they're facing forward, they run. The players just run.
That channel,
and they play in between defenders, and they're in absolutely every single time.
Celtic have it with Tierney over on the left, infield to Engels, decides to drive in a pocket of space here, pokes it forward to Kenny. Important intervention there by Fernandez as McGregor wins it back off Raskan, pops it forward to Kenny, to his left for Nygren. Maida goes to the left, Kenny to the right, Kenny shoots, saved brilliantly by Butland. Outstanding save, low to his right. That was aimed for the bottom left corner. Celtic come again here with McCowan. Inside the box, rolls it back to Tierney, chip ball towards the back stick, Yang wins the header, and it's off the line by Fernandez to the overhead clearance. Nygren at the edge of the box, slipped it high and wide, and it will stay Celtic 1, Rangers 0. So very nearly 2, and whilst we've been critiquing the performance of Fernandez in the game, 2 really important interventions there. Yang's header dropped over Butland, underneath the crossbar it was going, and Fernandez threw a boot at it, facing his own goal, and was able to clear, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0, but only just on 32 minutes.
I've got to go back to the save from Butland, though. It was a really good strike from Johnny Kenny. He's been in really good positions, and he's trying to fire shots away. Some of them have been blocked. That one, he curled round the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper got a brilliant hand, full stretch to his right hand side to keep it out initially. Yes, when the ball came back in, it was cleared off the line, but that was I've got to say, a brilliant save to keep Rangers in this game.
Yeah, they're struggling, and I don't know if he will pull it back to make it a 5. As I said, they're a 4-2-3-1 now. They can roll into that. They've done that a few times this season, but Gassama's really high, Mikey Moore wide to the left, Asgard in behind, but I don't know if they will pull it back to a 5 at times, or as you say, Liam, just get James Tavernier on there and maybe take Fernandez off and stick Dujon Stelling into centre half. They've got a few options, but Celtic could have been out of sight by now. They've only Gassama with his chip shot that Schmeichel got a touch on, and an opportunity at the back post. Apart from that, Celtic have had chance after chance.
Yeah, I think Fernandez pulled something when he was stretching to get that off the line. He had to get a bit of treatment there. Rangers down to 10 at the moment. Fernandez is over on this near side touchline waiting to get back on.
He doesn't look like a player that wants to be out there, does he? Fernandez, for me, maybe that's his style. Billy, you'll know better than I.
Yeah, I mean, this game can eat you up, can't it? You guys played in so many of them and have seen it so often. Players been eaten up by the occasion as Kenny gets to the edge of the box as Engels' shot blocked by Raskan. Pings back to Ralston. Celtic looking for another here. Just over 11 minutes until half-time. As Yang plays it back to Ralston. Sharmiti with the challenge, but with the foul. Free kick Celtic. On this near side, Wilfried Nancy down there is frantically gesticulating at a couple of his players there.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot in that, I've got to say. He got away with it, Tony Ralston, I think.
The team that scores first has only lost this fixture 5 times out of the last 46 meetings.
Yeah, but you never know with Celtic. They've started off in games against Aberdeen and so on, and they were Dundee United. I thought they were really good in that first half and both occasions, and then it just didn't, and they created so many chances.
There's another ball over the top towards Yang. Is he on or off? Butland comes to meet him. He was brave, and he gets his just rewards as he holds on to it. Stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Magoma's really poor again there because there's no pressure on the ball, and you can see Yang taking off. He's got to deepen. He's so quick, Magoma. I think he relies on his pace, and he starts deepening far too quickly, and Yang's in behind him, and the right way to ball Celtic are through again.
And Engels losing out to Raskan this time after another loose ball out of defence by Rangers. If we can see the struggles that Rangers are having right now, and the fact that they are struggles that could cost them the match here, despite the fact we're only on 35 minutes, if it goes 2 or 3, it's game over. Certainly if it goes 3, it would be. If we can see it, surely Danny Rule can see it.
Yeah, but that's the key. It hasn't gone that way so far. Celtic should be at least 2 up, if not 3, but it hasn't gone that way, and you know what these games are like.
If something's not working, Billy, no matter how early in the match it is, you've got to try and plug the gap there.
You've got to do it, yeah, especially with Suter. He can play left, and he's got a bit of pace once again. This guy just takes his time and thinks everyone's at a stroll, Fernandez, and he's nearly been caught in the ball again there. And they're definitely targeting it, just slip it down the side of him. I think they've looked at a game that springs to mind is Saps. They played it in behind Fernandez, and he looked as if he was really toiling. No recovery, and they score.
And Packy's right though, because Celtic should have been 3-0 up at half-time against Dundee United recently and ended up losing that match. So, recent warning for Nancy and his players. He'll be desperate for them to get this second goal. It's Butland playing it short to his left for Fernandez. Out to Moore. Infield, he was looking for Makoma, but instead he's given it to Engels. Now it's Yang. Shifts away, shuffles away from Barron and rolls it back to Ralston, who now finds Trusty in the centre circle and forward to Luke McCowan. McCowan then squares it to Engels. Yang's in space on the near side touchline. Here goes Yang, attacking the right hand side of the Rangers box up against Makoma. Turning from Makoma, chipping the ball across, and a header down, and Butland holds on to McCowan's effort. And it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0, but this is an absolute doing that Rangers are getting right now.
Yeah, again, good play from Yang, again showing his quality, and he's not alone is he good on the ball. He's working really hard, but there's a lovely little feint there, and suddenly he gets able to get his cross in, and lovely cross it was actually.
Celtic ransack Nicola Raskan in the middle of the pitch there, but it's broken to Sterling's a loose ball now. Sharmiti chases and drives forward down that right hand side. Brilliant for Sharmiti to the byline, pulls it back straight to Trusty. Should Mikey Moore have gambled there and moved further to his right to get in front of Austin Trusty? It meant it never made it to the on loan Spurs man, and Celtic clear.
Yeah, it was a good run, wasn't it, from Sharmiti? He went away from McCowan that time. He was driving into the box. Maybe his final touch took him. Oh, here's another.
Well, both teams giving it away. It's back with Tierney. It really is incredible that both these clubs have gone through turmoil in the same season. Every now and again you see it at both Celtic Park and Ibrox, but seldom does it happen within months of each other. Hearts looking to capitalise on that when they host Livingston later. As it stands, Celtic will draw level on points with them, still trailing on the goal difference, but they would have played a game more, having for so long had a game in hand, at least one game in hand. It is 1-0 then to Celtic. They've seen 63% of the ball. They've had 10 shots to Rangers 2, 4 on target to Rangers 1. In every statistic, pretty much Celtic are dominating. They are 1-0 up. They'd like to be further ahead. It's Yang now to Nygren, level with the edge of the centre circle. In the Rangers half, back to Engels. Decides to knock it back to Schmeichel.
Yeah, their decision-making today, Celtic, has been much better. Everything's been much better today since that game against Motherwell, and it's a mentality. That's really what it is.
Yeah, it looked like they've had a rocket. Here's Ralston under pressure from Chermiti, turns and plays it back to Schmeichel. We played 39 minutes.
Yeah, maybe had a rocket, but this game looks after itself as well, as Pat was saying at the start of the game. So it's how you continue from this. But it looks good so far, but that's just because Celtic know Rangers' weaknesses, especially down this Rangers left side channel with Magoma and Fernandez, and every time, don't get me wrong, they've got in a couple of times on the other side, but my word, the amount of times they've got down this side, straight in behind that Rangers defence.
Yeah, there's just a straight run from Nygren or Yang or Kenny. You know, it's not. You can see it happening.
Rangers have it in the midfield with Barron. It's away from McGregor and then fouled by Maida. It'll be a Rangers free kick just inside their own half, right of the centre circle. Yeah, I mean, even in the two victories that Nancy's enjoyed, they've been troubled moments. In that one, Aberdeen equalising. Here in a match, Celtic could have racked up all goodness knows how many goals, and Aberdeen got back to 1 each in that match, and then twice behind at Livingston last weekend. And the other 5 matches defeats as Raskan comes forward for Rangers, looking for Moore. Poor ball cleared by Trusty.
So one thing you would worry about, Liam, that Celtic have not put this game to bed, that Rangers will get an opportunity, just as you were saying, because they've had so many chances that they're only 1-0 up, and I think that'll bring a little bit of nervousness at some point in this game if Celtic can't get a second.
Yeah, because Billy, this game could have been put to bed by this point. Suter though, long ball looking for Raskan, who chases. Yang's going to get there first, and he's done well to nick it back to Schmeichel. It's had an excellent match. So too Johnny Kenny, incidentally, and Callum McGregor's looked much more like himself. Here's a short ball, McGregor to Engels.
Yeah, but Callum is actually, almost been the holding midfield player, and the rest are all working really higher up the pitch, and they've left the 3 up front. You could say maybe Nygren has joined Kenny and Maeda, and that allows then McCowan and Engels also to play a little bit further forward.
There's Kenny, little ball infield to Nygren. They're in the Rangers half here. It's back with McCowan. He's giving it away though. And Gassama has likewise. Danny Rule is furious down there. Really lazy ball by Jerry Gassama as McGregor picks up on the halfway line and goes back to Trusty. Would not be surprised if there's at least 2 changes by the Rangers manager at the interval. He just wants to get there right now, even if they're 1-0 down. Another chip ball in behind. This time the target was Engels, but it comes all the way through to Butland.
Yeah, just lack of maybe just relationship between the two of them. I thought it was a good ball actually, and they've had success from it. So there's no reason why Yang or Nygren wouldn't play it and Yang wouldn't make the run.
Yeah, well, Rangers have kind of come here and playing like a team that thought they would be up against the Celtic that performed on Tuesday. This has been much more like the Celtic that we are used to seeing over the course of the last number of years, more than a decade now. Chermiti is fouled over on the far side by McCowan, and that's going to be a free kick to Rangers. Just almost towards the attacking third there, wide on the right-hand side.
Yeah, nearly 43 minutes gone. Last sort of 5 minutes. I don't think there'll be a lot of extra time here. But this is now an opportunity again for Rangers to put that ball, set piece, put it in the box and see if Celtic can defend.
Connor Barron over it again, just a few yards from the far side touchline. Rangers attack the goal to the left, a long one deep into the box. Chermiti wins the header, clear by Trusty. There's an offside flag anyway, so it will stay Celtic 1, Rangers 0. And as Pat was saying, we're into the final 2 minutes of the opening 45.
There's no doubt from corners and set pieces, free kicks that they're targeting that back area. Fernandez was round the back the time before. That time it was Chermiti, and Barron put it right into that area. They wouldn't hit the header easily, but got to get yourself on side at times as well.
Well, given Hearts have got what on paper appears to be very winnable fixtures in their next 3, before they host Celtic in Edinburgh. Celtic have to keep pace with them. Same goes for Rangers, who are a few points further back as Yang comes forward down the right, but that's been shanked over the crossbar from the right-hand side of the box. It's disappointing because there was 4 Celtic players making their way into the penalty area, and a better ball might well have found one of them as they look to double their lead before the break. It stays 1-0 to the hosts.
Yeah, it was really good play from Johnny Kenny in the middle of the pitch. Gets into his feet this time and turns away into the space and picks out Yang. He had bodies in the box, Yang. He just failed to get his foot around the ball.
Here's Nygren driving at the Rangers box. Heavy touch, but he gets back onto it anyway. Shrugs off Moore. Good footwork inside the D. Slips it through for Kenny. His ball to Maida's cut out. Still they come. Left-hand side. Luke McCowan in the box. Looking for Tierney on the overlap. They will be seen behind for the goal kick by Gassama. It is a Rangers goal kick, and it will stay Celtic 1, Rangers 0 in the final minute of the first half.
It's another great chance. More decisive is the phrase you would use, Pat, whether it's Kenny just take a touch and hitting, but timid with the layoff, and then it comes back to McCown. You're thinking just either lay him in or take a touch and have a strike. He delays, and eventually that's the pass that goes out the pitch. But so many opportunities. 1-0 up, could have been more, but that's down to just being a little bit timid at times.
2 minutes added, we're into the first of them. Ross Hardy, the 4th official down there with the board as Trusty clears, and that goes straight to Sterling, who knocks it in field to Rashkan. Forward to the right for Asgard, onto the touchline for Sterling. Now Asgard again down that far side, well won back by Maida. He's so much more about Celtics, night and day from what we saw the other night. That's a dreadful ball by them as Asgard picks up a loose one in the midfield, and it's pulled back to Barron on the edge of the centre circle, then out to Mekhoma. Celtic have dominated huge swathes of this first half, but Rangers coming forward here looking for an equaliser. Back to Schmeichel it goes, a loose one from the Celtic keeper again. Asgard picks up the scraps at the edge of the box, rolls it to Moore, left hand side chance for Rangers, blocked by Ralston, and behind it goes for the Rangers corner. Wilfried Nancy turns in frustration, looks to the heavens.
Yeah, wrong decision from Schmeichel again. Trying to play out when it's not on. You know that it's in 1 minute to go. He's seen the board going up. Play it long, take the pressure off your team and get them up the pitch and get into half time.
Rangers corner as they look to do some pickpocketing here.
A back area's free again, Liam. Fernandez.
Yeah, and that's what Barron's aiming for. It's headed away by Trusty. Breaks to Gassama, shot scuffed, and it's cleared. Here is Mekhoma picking it up, the deepest outfield player, rolls it back to Butland. We've got about 25 seconds left of this first half. 1-0 Celtic, Shamiti chasing. Shamiti has it, Pat saying offside, but got to wait to the end of the move. Shamiti rolls it across, chance, Moore! It's in the net, but the flag's up! The flag is up! Right, and half-time, and Mikey Moore denied by the assistant referee Jonathan Bell's flag over there on the north stand side. It stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, it was always, you don't have to be a genius to see when he's at least 2-3 yards off.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it was, I think it's closer than what people think. I think it is just off.
Sorry, Dodgy, they've just done the VAR check there. It's been confirmed, no goal.
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying to you is there's a difference. So for Celtic, as Pat was saying, 1 minute to half time, just clear it.
Well, there is the half-time whistle. Much better from Celtic, who lead thanks to Yang's 4th goal of the season. They've had numerous other opportunities. Trusty with a free header from a corner, with Johnny Kenny testing Butland. Fabulous save from Jack Butland as he threw himself down to his right to deny the Irishman's. Actually 2 really excellent efforts. Yang had a header off the line from Fernandez. Gassama had Rangers' best chance in the game as he tried to chip Schmeichel. He got a little touch onto it, he went behind for the corner. Rangers blown away at times in that first half by that much improved Celtic performance, and my goodness, does Wilfried Nancy need a victory in this game today. Both teams can ill afford to lose it really when it comes to their title aspirations, and the one thing Rangers will cling on to is the fact they're only 1-0 down, and Celtic have shown at times in the first half They can be the architects of their own downfall as well, with sloppy balls out from defence, and Mikey Moore had the ball in the net right at the last knock-ins there. An offside flag went up against Youssef Sharmiti. So that means here in the Glasgow Sunshine, in the first match of 2026, in the first derby between these two in 2026, it is Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
The Old Firm Derby.
Live on Sports Sound.
What a game!
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Yes, you're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. The first of 3 commentaries across the station today at half-time. Celtic 1, Rangers 0. Yang with that goal on 19 minutes. A reminder of what we've got for you throughout the day. 2 commentary options at 3 o'clock. The Dundee Derby and also Hearts against Livingston. Updates from Kilmarnock, Hibs, Motherwell, St Mirren and Falkirk against Aberdeen. And we are at 2 games in the Championship today. The leaders St Johnstone are at home to Arbroath. Second place Partick Thistle, they're at home to Greenock Morton. Between 5:30 and 7 we'll be joined by fans. Lots for them to talk about. We'll be joined, Tom English, by a Celtic fan and a Rangers fan. We'll get their thoughts on how this game pans out today. Looking at the first half stats, Celtic 62% possession, 11 shots to Rangers 4, 5 on target for the home side, just the 1 on target for Danny Rule's side. What have you made of it?
I think Celtic have been terrific. You know, the only downside for them is that they're only 1-0 up, because I think they could have been 2 and 3 quite comfortably. They have really exploited Rangers at their weakest point down the left-hand side. Magoma and Fernandez. Yang is at a field day. If their finishing was a little bit better, this game might already be over. But their energy levels, their goal threat, the aggression, all the things that, the relentlessness, all the things that have been missing are there today for some reason. Could you have anything to do with the fact that they're playing Rangers by any chance?
Well, I just wonder, Michael, because the manager made that impassioned plea, defence, whatever you want to call it, yesterday in terms of what he's trying to do. In terms of what we're witnessing that first 45 minutes, can you see something a bit different today? Can you see a game plan, a style of play? Can you see how Celtic fans may take confidence in that first half performance?
Well, they'll certainly be happy with the first half performance. And I think it's just everything that Tom's talking about. It's a derby, it's a game against Rangers. The players are, bursting their gut. They're charging about all over the place. I'm not going to be dismissive of it, but I'm not looking at it and saying, structurally, there's something different or there's clear aspects of the game that are coming to the fore now. No, I just see it as it's a really hard-working, high-energy performance full of desire from Celtic, and the key aspect of the game has been that Rangers' left-hand side of the defence is awful, and Celtic have been able to get in there on a number of occasions. Fernandez is a danger at set pieces offensively. He's a danger defensively for Rangers.
Talk us through the goal, Michael, then.
Well, Magoma, first of all, is the left-hand side of the defence, and this was part of the thing for Danny Rule when he first came in. He toyed with playing a back three at times, in large part due to the fact that Jayden Magoma's not a great defender. He's, with our back four today, and with him at left back and Fernandez at left centre half, it's a weak point, because Fernandez has not got great concentration, he's not got great positional sense defensively, and it's the same with Magoma. The two of them are athletic and quick though, but when the shy's taken to begin with, Magoma just stays in an outside position, which allows the gap on the inside, along with a number of the Rangers midfield who are just a little bit slow to react. And then Fernandez, who's on the edge of the box, he overcompensates and shows too much space down the line. But it's not just down the line, it's into the box. You can look at the goalkeeper, I think possibly could have done better, but it's a good clean strike from him.
Yeah, it was.
And it's such a good strike from, a distance that perhaps it's the power that's beat the goalkeeper, clearly rather than the accuracy. But I'm sure Jack Butland will be looking at it, and personally he'll be feeling like, because he's a top goalkeeper, he'll be feeling like I should have done better. But as you look at the replay there, Fernandez he's overcommitted to shut the inside out, but he's given too much space
So much
down
space.
the line.
I mean,
And you look at Magoma, this is the classic thing for me with Magoma. He has no defensive instinct in terms of seeing how that attack can build up and how he needs to narrow off quickly to try and affect it. In the end, he's standing out closer to the byline, the sideline, and he never really a lot of people might look at it and think, well, it's nothing to do with him. I think he could have got in, narrowed off quicker, and perhaps had an effect on it.
It is a succession of Rangers players just saying, right, you deal with him, you deal with him, you deal with him.
Yeah.
And then there's two legs back of that. It's a brilliant goal, brilliant run from Yang, terrific goal. And if Johnny Kenny had been as ruthless in his finishing as Yang was there, then this game would be over and done with, I think.
I think that's a big concern, Pat, isn't it? Celtic have had so many great chances. Just watching save after save from Jack Butland. Realistically, this game could be beyond Rangers right now.
Yeah, there's going to come a stage in this game where they're going to be under pressure, and then will it be the question: will they be able to defend properly? That's the question always. If they keep up, listen, I think they've been terrific in this first half. Really, really good. When you watch it here, every single time, the work rate has been excellent, as Mikey has already described. Really, really, really good. And that was missing against Motherwell. There's no question they were outfought. They've outfought Rangers, and really, really good from that perspective. And that then sets you up into a kind of a completely different way of playing. And the penetration has been excellent. Every single time that they won the ball, they have a little bit of time on the ball. Next thing, there's somebody running beyond that Rangers defence, and particularly as you described down Rangers left-hand side. And Fernandes looks as if he's can almost just on a pace that's completely different than everybody else. It's almost like he's at 70% and everybody else is 100%, and he's getting caught out all the time. So just from a point of view of Celtic not scoring, this would be a big test for them coming out in the second half. Will they continue doing? I was here against Aberdeen with Wooly Miller, and Wooly Miller was extolling the attacking play of Celtic in that period of almost the first half and into the second half, and then suddenly it all changed when Aberdeen was able to score, and then it was a kind of almost, could he break down a solid Aberdeen defence? They were able to do it on that occasion, but I could see Rangers coming into this game in the second half. They have to do something to rectify what was going on in the first half. If Celtic get a second goal, I think then it's a different story, but if they don't, then there'll be a period when there is pressure, and then the qualities of the defensive side of Celtic will be tested.
They need to change the left side of the defence. I mean, whether it's a case of putting Sterling over at left back or putting Sterling into the centre and sliding, the team across, keeping Magoma. You've got to take off either Fernandes or Magoma. So for me, you're putting Sterling across at left back and taking Magoma off, or you're putting Sterling into the centre half and you're taking Fernandes off.
Well, the danger for me is in the centre. Okay, yes, the left back needs to get a bit tighter and so on, but as soon as there's a run from Nygren, there's a run from Kenny, there's a run, it's in behind Fernandes, and he's not able to track them. He's not even reacting quick enough to track them at times,
because he doesn't sense it. He doesn't sense it, Packy, does he?
No,
he doesn't see the danger. And everything he does is very reactive. He's not proactive. He doesn't sense danger. His positional sense is not particularly great. I mean, Max Arons is on the bench as well, but I wouldn't contemplate that. I would be looking at Tavernier to go on at right back, and then you're putting Sterling either at centre half or left back.
Dodgy, what would you do?
Definitely Tavernier on, and I'm just watching Diamanda getting warmed up here, so they're going to make a change, but I would definitely be taking Fernandes off. I think, and Magoma and him really just, they're not communicating with one another. They're not deep. There's no pressure on the ball, and you can see, look, start deepening. I don't care how quick you are. The ball's coming over the top, and they don't do that either. So real lack of communication, and there's no doubt Celtic have targeted down that side, and it's causing Rangers all sorts of problems. I would have put Tavernier on, put Dujon Sterling into centre half, move Suter across as well, but does it look as if they're going to do that, Kenny?
It's a question now whether Celtic can finish the job, because You know, they've had under Wilfried Nancy, they've had a propensity to drop off in the second half. Hearts, St Mirren in the League Cup final, Dundee United, Motherwell were on top first and second half, but certainly second half Motherwell really raced away from them. So they've had these moments before where they've put themselves into decent position, and then they've just fallen off a cliff. Their job is only half done. They're miles ahead of Rangers on the basis of that first half, but they've got to finish it.
Is there anything, Pat, that you've seen that looks different about Celtic today in that first half?
No, it's very similar to the Aberdeen game. They had lots of penetration, lots of running off the ball, and it wasn't just one or two. Every single player in midfield had, apart from McGregor, was running into areas where, and then the ball that was delivered, and it was good delivery at times. It was just that final execution to either hit the target, the ball across, picking somebody out, that it was just missing. And even, listen, Johnny Kenny, I think he's been terrific in the first half. His runs have been really, really good, and he's got that pace that maybe other strikers don't have. Maida wasn't happy through there against Motherwell, and I was surprised that they actually, played him in there, because Johnny was doing okay. He's the only striker that they have, but he likes to run down the side of people. He's got that pace and that. So, but unfortunately for him, he hasn't put the ball in the back of the net, and that's been probably 4 or 5 big chances he's had now over the course of when he's played under Nancy, that he hasn't been able to just hit the target properly. But he's a young man. Keep doing and keep working hard and keep doing all the right things, and you hope then that it's going to come, and that bit of confidence then will come with it, and he starts hitting the net more regularly.
And what about, Billy, the attacking options for Rangers? What will Danny Rowe be looking at there?
I don't know if he'll be. I think obviously Miofsky's on the bench, but I'm with Tom in this one. I think Celtic have dominated, but there's a fragility there, and you'll get a spell, and I don't think Rangers can be as bad again, but Celtic might go for the jugular and get the next goal, which would be crucial. But I just feel, and it all came to a head at the end of that first half when Rangers nearly got the equaliser. I know they were offside, but that's the kind of feeling you get. If Celtic don't kill this, there's going to be an opportunity. I think the attacking subs will probably come a little bit later in the game. As I said, Diamondi's going to come on. We'll wait and see who comes off. But if you're talking striker, I don't think that will happen just yet, Kenny.
No, certainly options for Danny Rowe, but they're still in this game despite the amount of chances that Celtic have had. Tom English, it's a full card today on Sports Sound, the first of 3 commentaries that we are bringing you at 3 o'clock. There will be a choice there. There's a Dundee derby live from Tannadice, also Hearts against Livingston, and Derek McInnes will be tuned in. He'll, I'd imagine, be hoping for a Rangers equaliser in this second half, and Hearts can take full advantage, he'll presume, later on against the Livingston side that have been struggling of late.
Yeah, I think a draw in the Old Firm game would suit Derek McInnes down to the ground, because you'd heavily fancy Hearts to beat Livingston at Tynecastle, and that cushion at the top could look very different tonight. But look, Celtic have the lead, they deserve the lead. I think there's a lot to happen in the next 45, because if Rangers can somehow get a bit of accuracy and a bit of momentum into their game, they know that Celtic are wobbly at the back. Equally, if Celtics keep creating the amount of chances they're creating, by the law of averages, they're going to go 2-0 up. They've had so many chances, 4 or 5 plus the goal in that first half. It's really incredible.
Well, this season has told us to expect plenty of drama. There has been no shortage. The sides are back out at Celtic Park. Let's get back to our commentary team of Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Well, just waiting to see who will be replaced by Mohamed Diamonde. Looks like Asgard, who was booked in that first half, who is coming off. So Diamonde, who scored here in Rangers' 3-2 victory in the spring, comes on. Celtic before today, 4 league derbies without a win. Did go 5 without one between 2019 and 21, and did win the League Cup semi between them this season. And they haven't lost a domestic match here at Celtic Park when scoring first since December 2015 when Motherwell beat them 2-1. Of course, Motherwell beat them for the first time since then the other night. As Celtic prepare to kick off in the green and white hoops, right to left towards the Jock Stein west end of the stadium. Rangers in the blue and white towards the Lisbon line end. Their supporters are in that end. It's Celtic who get things back underway, and it's Tierney finding Trusty to Ralston. So no changes for the hosts. Schmeichel in goal, Ralston, Trusty, Tierney, Yang the goal scorer, Engels, McGregor, McCowan, Nygren, Maida, Kenny. Rangers making that change with Diamonde coming on for Asgard. So Butland in goal, Sterling, Shooter, Fernandes, Mekhoma, Barron, Diamonde, Raskan, Gassama, Moore and Shermiti. It's going to have to be a whole lot better for Rangers in the second half if they're going to get anything out of this. Here's Barron midway inside the Celtic half, rolling it back to Raskan, who's going to try and thread it through to Gassama. Well read by McCowan, who blocks and clears. And he might be able to spring Kenny, who's in behind Shooter. He couldn't get in behind Fernandes. He slides in to make the block, but it is at the expense of the first corner of the second half, which goes Celtic's way.
Yeah, great run from Johnny Kenny there. He's alive. As soon as Celtic won the ball through McCowan, he was on his way down the side of Fernandes and Shooter, and getting into that space, and ends up they get a corner from it, but he ended up in a 1v1 situation with Fernandes. Good run, and that's what you want from a striker, to be clued in as soon as your own team wins it in their own half.
Corner, Arne Engels over it, in swinger coming up here with the right foot. Congested penalty area. Congested 6-yard box, and it comes, headed away by Fernandes, only as far as McGregor, who shoots, it's wide. He claims there's a deflection. Stephen McLean disagrees and gives the goal kick. That looked like that was arrowing for the bottom left corner. It's the Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
I'll tell you, he struck it really well, took it on his chest, dropped down, headed first time, went through bodies. Butland didn't see it. It goes to the right hand side of the right post and just wide.
It's classic Callum McGregor finding himself in that position, and it wouldn't have been the first time he found the net against Rangers from outside the box. It's Engels with a header, it's into the centre circle where Raskan gets on to it, plays it low out to Mekhoma, back to Fernandes, sweeps it forward to Raskan. Now it's with Diamonde driving forward. First real intervention for Diamonde. His ball through is cut out, but there was a foul there, and Engels, with the looks of things, and the ref's going to bring it back for that. The Celtic supporters not happy because they felt there was an advantage there, although they were appealing for the free kick in the first place.
Yeah, the referee just, they were away actually. I think it was Nygren when the ball was passed to him, but I think he had blown his whistle just a second or two a little bit early. But anyway, listen, they get the free kick and Celtic get possession back.
Billy, what about Diamonde coming on for Asgard then? Is that as much down to the yellow card as anything?
I think so. I thought there would have been other changes apart from that, but he has to get going again. Mo Diamonde, he's a really good player, slightly framed but really strong, but he's got a habit to take too many touches. When he does, that affects his game. If he can play 2 or 3 touches, an effective player, and he'll get forward. So Danny Rowe will be hoping that maybe some through runs, as Pat was alluding to, can cut through the Celtic defence, but he'll certainly get forward from that position, Liam.
They've only lost 1 away league game since Boxing Day 2024. Only won 9 of them, right enough, out of the 20, but just that solitary defeat at Tynecastle a fortnight ago. Rangers winning it back in the midfield here. Barron forward to Gassama, gets a little touch on it to find Moore. He's got Shermiti to his left, can't find him though. That was a chance to slip Shermiti in. Celtic block and clear, and now Engels has it over on the halfway line. Shermiti with the challenge and out for a Celtic throw-in.
Yeah, it was a big chance for Rangers there. Mikey Moore just got his pass away. I'm not sure if Shermiti would be able to take it on and drive towards the goal, but certainly he was in.
Yeah, I think if he hits the pass at the right time, Shermiti's certainly getting an opportunity, Pat. And then you can see the frailty Celtic fans having a go at Engels because they want him to go forward. They want this killer goal, and he turns back the way.
Yeah, well, they will have the Aberdeen game fresh in our minds here. There's Barron for Rangers forward. It comes to Sterling, right hand side's in behind McCowan, pulls it back. It's a poor choice, and it's clear by Celtic. 2 in blue, Moore and Shermiti in the middle. It's out for a throw in, and Rangers take quickly to Barron. It's with Gassama. Low ball in field. Here's Moore. Right hand side's away from Trusty. Across the face, a goal and in! 1-1! 1-1. Sharmiti. Raskan involved too. And Rangers have an incredible equaliser. 5 minutes into the second half, having been battered in the opening 45 minutes. They've found an equaliser, and it is Celtic 1, Rangers 1 from close range.
You had that feeling, didn't you? I mean, Celtic haven't put this game out of sight, been so far in front, but Raskan does ever so well. Trusty sells himself for me, should try and stay on his feet, goes to the ground, Raskan knocks it past him, the pick out is brilliant. Charmiti taking so much stick, hardly been in the game, pops it in the top corner from close range, and Rangers right back in it from absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Charmiti's bleeding it. He's down in front of the Rangers fans, but yeah, it was just coming, wasn't it? Rangers had just got a little bit more possession. They were playing those little balls, doing a bit of what Celtic were doing in the first half, balls in behind, and it was a really good play. Was it Raskin that got to the byline? Really good play from Raskin, good feet, and then suddenly just slid across, almost like about a yard out from goal. I'm surprised that it actually got beyond the near post.
Well, Austin Trusty, as they were checking offside there, Austin Trusty, he stepped away from Trusty, didn't he? Kind of left him a little bit flat-footed there, the big centre-back, and that's what opened it.
Yeah, you're right, Liam, he sold himself. He should just shuffle the feet and try to stay on his feet, and he probably goes with Raskan. Raskan, he thought Raskan was going to cross it, so he made the movement to try and block the cross, but that sold himself. Raskan does brilliantly, and then the pick out is sensational, and he is effective when he gets forward. Raskan, he's not been playing well in the last few weeks, but that's what happens when he can get himself into forward areas.
Rangers level then at Celtic Park, and they could easily have been 2 or 3 down at the interval, and they found themselves back on terms. And Celtic pick up over on the right with Yang, and more trouble for Wilfried Nancy. McGregor, square ball to Trusty. Suddenly all those nagging little doubts amongst Celtic minds will come flooding back from recent negative experiences, but that's good from Yang, out to the right. Nygren attacking the Rangers box, little step over on his left foot, knocks it back to the 18-yard lines with McCowan. McCowan at the edge of the box, lovely ball, Maida's in! Saved by Butland and clear by Sterling at the expense of a corner. Well, how often have we seen Daisen Maida capitalise in that very position? It stays 1-1 and 52 and a half.
Yeah, really good play initially from Yang, again down that right-hand side. He comes on the inside and then picks out Nygren on the right-hand side. When the ball comes across, it's a lovely little through pass for Maeda, but he was back to goal, but Butland was out so sharp to make the save.
Should have lifted it, Pat, shouldn't he?
Possibly.
Engels will take the corner, in it comes, it's dropped in the 6-yard box. Who's going to get there? There's a big group of players involved, and the effort from Kenny's blocked. He eventually popped to him. Here's McCowan, it's frantic again. Little effort towards goals, comfortable for Butland. It was Tierney got the touch onto it. And suddenly, in a game that Celtic were utterly dominating, suddenly it could go either way here.
That's good.
When they missed all their chances, I had that feeling just with the thing that happened before half-time, the offside goal, and you just thought, and then Engels turns back, there's a bit of moaning from the Celtic crowd, and it just brought that vulnerability, and then Rangers take advantage of it.
On a piece on 53, here goes Mikey Moore driving down the left-hand side of the box. Sharmiti's waiting in the middle. Moore can find Connor Barron, takes a touch, big chance, Barron's got away from him, he's on the turn with the left foot, and it's wide. And it will be a corner to Rangers. Real opportunity for Connor Barron. His first instinct is not to score goals, Connor Barron, never has been.
But again, listen, you know, we've seen Celtic running forward in the first half and really creating problems for Celtic. It's almost as if Rangers taking a leaf out of their book. And again, ball possession, middle of the pitch, and then Mikey Moore, 3 down, inside left position.
Rangers looking to turn this on its head. In swinging Connor Barron, corner, and it comes away by McGregor. Again, it doesn't beat the first man. He's had a few of those today. whether it be free kicks or corners, is Barron. Here comes Celtic with Yang, popping it forward for Johnny Kenny, and they've got others arriving up in the final third. Across it comes, McGoman's there to put it behind for the corner as the match swings from one end to the other, and it's a Celtic opportunity this time.
Yeah, I think
the yellow card's out here.
Yeah, it's going to be a free kick.
Gassama yellow.
Yeah,
rather than a corner, it's going to be a free kick. There was a foul after the ball had gone on Johnny Kenny over there.
Yeah, it's one of them where Johnny Kenny is under control of the ball. He's trying to play a pass, kind of almost a diagonal low pass, and he gets it away first, and as Gassama kind of arrives, he dived in and just caught him slightly late. Yellow card, free kick to Celtic.
I still think it should have been a better ball, even though he got caught, but a better ball probably put Celtic through. This is going to end up like a basketball game. Honestly, you can feel it. I mean, Celtic will feel so hard done by it, they'll just keep going for it, and that will leave space for Rangers, and Rangers are still vulnerable where Celtic one ball are cutting through them at will at times.
Engels over the free kick. It's maybe 10 yards from that far side north stand touchline. So it's almost bang level with the angle of the box, or about level with the edge of the D. The Celtic attack, the goal to the left. Engels over it, can he deliver? Right-footed into the box, the header, and tipped over there by Butland. It was Yang who put Celtic in front in the first half, got it flush in the head. Butland scrambling it away from the top left corner of his goal, the top right as Yang looked at it.
Yeah, it's one of them from a goalkeeper's point of view. You see it all the way though. You know, there's nobody in front of you, and you just have got to touch it away. Decent save, decent header.
Can't take your eyes off this right now. In from Engels again from the corner, it's bounced off Kenny. And McComa, has he prevented the corner? Yes, he has. McGregor from the long ball, the long clearance, heads it down the right-hand touchline for Engels. He goes down, edge of the area, no free kick. Celtic pick up the loose ball in the box anyway. Kenny, back to Yang. Now he's found McCowan. Squares it with the left foot to McGregor. In a game neither can afford to lose, neither are winning right now as the cross comes in from Engels. It breaks half clear, Yang shoots first time with the left foot, deflected behind, off his own man Nygren, and behind for a Rangers goal kick. It is 1-1 at Celtic Park, approaching 57 minutes.
Yes, it's a really, really entertaining game, I've got to say. Obviously, of course, if you're a Celtic supporter, you're a little bit frustrated. You're actually a little bit nervous also that you could end up losing this game after all. The chance from a Rangers perspective to be back in the game is quite incredible.
To be back in a title race for Rangers is quite incredible. Though right now, the scoreline probably suiting Derek McInnes and his Hearts squad, who play later in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. They're at home to the bottom dogs, Livingston. Elsewhere, in the headline 3 o'clock fixture, undoubtedly at Tannadice Park, Dundee United against Dundee in the derby. Falkirk, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock, Hibernian and Motherwell, St Mirren make up the rest of the Premiership fixtures this afternoon. Sterling under pressure from Maida, gets it clear down this near side. McCowan picks up in the left, level with the Rangers penalty spot. Loose ball's won back by Barron though. His clearance up the line's picked up by Tierney, who shifts it in field to McGregor, who finds Ralston in the centre circle. Out to the right-hand side it goes to Yang. Pulls it back to Engels, then back to Yang on that right flank. Fires the cross ball in and Butland holds on. No touch. Right through to the Rangers number 1. The big man from Bristol holds on. And it's the Celtic 1, Rangers 1. You wouldn't want to say right now who, if there's going to be a winner, who it would be, Billy. Celtic, though, have reacted pretty well to the equaliser.
Yeah, they have, but they're still vulnerable. You're guessing. I think Rangers will get more chances now because they've got a bit of confidence back in their team. They were really poor first half. Celtic will play wide open football as they have been doing.
Oh, they're giving it away, Celtic. Ralston this time, and Sharmiti is driving towards the Celtic box. He's into it. Sharmiti's right through. Scores! Sharmiti scores his second. And Rangers have turned this game around quite incredibly. Sharmiti, with the jet heels on, drove in from the left into the box. Schmeichel got a touch, but it ends up in the top right corner of the net. And my goodness, the sky can fall in here at Celtic Park. A game the champions led them are dominating is a game they are losing, and all kinds of pressure on Wilfried Nancy right now. It is Celtic 1, Rangers 2, just before the hour mark. What a turnaround.
We did speak about it at half-time. Celtic, there will be periods in the game where they have to defend, and will they be able to cope with that? And the answer is no, because they give the ball away out in that sort of right back position when I think it might have been Ralston that was caught out, and nobody went to Chermiti. He actually showed a really good turn of pace, but the decision was made by Trusty to stay on the inside, and eventually didn't get across. That's when Tierney and him has got to balance off each other, and one's going to go to the ball and one's going to pick up, and then of course they have no left back to get back into the left back position, and that's the problem when you have a back three. Schmeichel also, shot comes in, he goes with his leg, doesn't save it. Would he be better trying to make a save with his hands?
Well, since the season started, Billy Dodds, that price tag that Yusuf Chermiti has had hanging round his neck has been a real millstone for him. However, 2 Derby goals, really good performance against St Mirren the other night as well, and the big number 9 is beginning to pay some of it back here.
Yeah, games and experience will help this lad, there's no doubt, but Celtic, my word, you just asked me, and my words were, I'd hardly got them out. Celtic will play wide open. Well, they certainly did, Liam. And then once the mistake's made, you're right, Pat, somebody's got to get out there. You just can't let the one thing you know about Chermiti's got pace, physical presence, and he's through. And Celtic just stay on the inside, and I'm thinking, oh my word, I can't believe what I'm watching here. And Chermiti sticks it away, but poor from Celtic.
Chermiti's doubled his goals tally, but here's Maid up the other end, and he fires just wide across the face of goal with the outside of the left boot. It just bent and swerved too late, and it was behind for a goal kick. Celtic 1, Rangers 2, and Dyson Maida with his head in his hands thought he'd equalised.
Oh, he's hit it really well. He's hit it on first time as it comes to him. He's just got a little bit of bend on it too, slight bend, just not enough to take it inside the post, and just creeps past the left-hand post.
My goodness,
if
you're Wilfried Nancy right now, you know there's 58,000 pairs of eyes boring into you right now. They are all staring at him. The board have been getting it all season, we know that, but the Celtic manager right now is staring at a 6th defeat in his first 8 games in charge. And he just doesn't, we've seen it at Rangers this season. He won't get much more if he was to lose this game. He's still got half an hour or so to try and get himself out of the hole here. My goodness, the pressure on him is enormous.
For all the good quality going forward, and okay, not taking their chances, but defensively then they are so vulnerable. You've seen Mikey Moore getting a great opportunity, didn't quite come off for him, but then of course the other 2 goals, nobody able to defend properly, and that's very, very poor from Celtic. And it comes down, I think, to the structure of, and especially the back three you have, that they're not capable of playing in that sort of formation, not used to it either.
Yeah, well, you're right, Liam, with the Celtic fans will be their eyes boring on them, but my word, they must feel as if the world is against them as well, in terms of the way they've dominated this game at times, and then they've not been ruthless enough, and then been punished with his system being wide open, and that's a problem. And my word, Rangers 2 chances this half and punished them.
The foul on Diamande over on the far side, just inside the Celtic half. Celtic 1, Rangers 2. A scarcely believable scoreline. Celtic were superb in that first half for a 1-0 lead, but we did ask the question, would they be made to pay for not scoring more than just the 1 goal through Yang? Well, they have done. Chermiti had 2 Rangers goals in his short Rangers career. Upon arriving at Celtic Park today, has doubled it. Has doubled his tally. Here comes Celtic down this left-hand side with Johnny Kenny. As Fernandez slides in, he goes out of play off Kenny Lasses, the assistant David McGeehee on this near side. There will be a throw into Rangers, and suddenly just little 50-50 decisions are going Rangers' way right now.
Yeah, you're right, and now it's about mentality again, a different type of mentality. They've done well in the first half, they've worked hard, they did all that hard graft, weren't able to take the clear-cut chances that they had, but now it's a different story. They're a goal behind, they've got to find and claw their way back into it, and then...
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying Derek McInnes would probably like a draw here today, but Well, that could give him a 5-point advantage. If this was a draw and Hearts would have beat Livingston later, a Rangers win and a Hearts win would put them 6 clear. We're looking at the long game. We probably want both teams to drop a couple of points this afternoon. However, Rangers have turned this match around from absolutely nowhere, and it's Sharmiti on this near side, deep inside the Celtic half. Tierney's fouled by him though, and that's going to be a free kick to Celtic on the Celtic left. And be interesting to see how Sharmiti kicks on from this spell. I mentioned his performance against St Mirren on Tuesday. He's just scored a couple of goals this afternoon, and he could potentially kick on from here.
He's got to kick on, he's got to get confidence from it, and experience in game time is going to help him. But I mean, he wasn't in the game first half, but chance of a hat-trick here. Well,
there's not been a hat-trick in this fixture since Moussa Dembele's in 2016. Yang picks up on the right, drives it forward, looking for Kenny. Fernandez covering across, and he's able to knock it in field to Raskan midway inside his own half, and he flicks it back to John Souttar, who then finds Sterling on this near side. We just didn't see a way how Fernandez could continue in this football match at one point in that first half. He's settled down, Rangers have settled down, and Rangers lead the match. As Diamonde picks up, Celtic 1, Rangers 2. Diamonde up to the halfway line, finds Sharmiti. It's a cross-field ball, looking for Gassama in behind. Gassama's going to get there. Suddenly Rangers doing all the running. It's Gassama, he's in the box, he's on the left foot, he shoots, it's blocked. McGregor's there, down to the byline, plays it back off Gassama, and behind it goes for a goal kick, and it will stay Celtic 1, Rangers 2. Indeed, talking about the last hat-trick, it was Moussa Dembele. In this fixture, that was the last hat-trick. The last Rangers hat-trick, incredibly, was Ali McCoist in the 83-84 League Cup final. Sharmiti's on one here, and there's going to be a change coming for Celtic, and it could be a debut for Julian Araujo, who's arrived on loan from Bournemouth, and he's only seen, I mentioned earlier, tiny bit of action in the English League Cup this season as Sterling looks to try and get round Kieran Tierney. Sterling driving forward, Tierney reacts but puts it behind for a throw into Rangers down by the corner flag as John Sterling tries to whip up the Rangers supporters off to our right. McCowan's going to come off, and Araujo, who was once of Barcelona, Mexico international, is going to come on for his debut. And Rangers have a throw-in, which I said was down by the corner flag. By the time Sterling takes it, it's going to be level with the 6-yard line. Defeat's utterly unthinkable for Wilfried Nancy this afternoon, but we played 3 quarters of this game, and that is exactly what Celtic are staring at right now.
Yeah, they just moved Yang over onto the left-hand side, and Roro's gone in on the right-hand side as we thought he would do.
A little nutmeg there, Sharmiti on Yang as he gets it back out to Sterling, who's thinking he's won a corner, and that's exactly what he's got. This game has completely and utterly flipped.
Yeah, and you can only, obviously it's the Rangers goals, but I don't know, Celtic just can't, they're not doing what they were doing in the first half and just try to get up channels, get through that Rangers defence as quick as possible. It's just, they've been just absolutely stripped of all confidence in this game, Celtic.
Rangers looking for back-to-back wins here as well. All of a sudden, McHoma's going to take the corner left-footed in front of the Rangers fans. They attack the goal to the right, and it comes pumped in under the crossbar. Schmeichel, who's then given a bump by Souttar, and it will be a free kick against the Rangers captain today, John Souttar. Nygren comes to have a word with him. Callum McGregor's on site, tells Nygren to move away. Celtic have bigger fish to fry right now. Celtic 1, Rangers 2 as we approach the 69-minute mark. Nobody saw this coming after the first half, even though there was that tail of caution. Araujo gets his first touch and knocks it back to Ralston, who goes back to Schmeichel. Right-footed clip ball out to Tierney on this near side. He's under pressure though, gives it away to Gassama. Gassama then turns it infield for Raskan. Raskan driving forward. Right-footed ball low to Diamonde, then out to the left-hand side for McHoma. Finds Diamonde. Comes off Engels and out for a Rangers throw-in on the far side, and suddenly Celtic can't get a kick.
Yeah, and again that ball's back to the goalkeeper, and he ends up playing a big loopy ball across the Tierney, then he's under pressure and they give it away. And you're right, Billy, they're not playing that ball forward the way that they were doing in the first half. Maybe they haven't had the same possession, but certainly they have opportunities to play it down the channel, get the runners going, do what they were doing and test Rangers.
It's going to be a Rangers throwing level with the Celtic 18-yard line over on the far side. McHoma's going to take a stoppage in play. The referee is having a word with Anthony Ralston, I think it is. Ralston's mistake capitalised on by Youssef Chermiti to put Rangers in front of the match. He couldn't believe it. It was like the Red Sea parting for Chermiti. He drove into the area. Suddenly he was looking for somebody to pass it to, cross it to, and suddenly he realised he was in for a shot himself. He produced his second and Rangers' second as the cross comes into the box, headed away by Tierney. Rangers pick up here through Gassama. It's away from Maida, looks up, right foot cross, ball's dreadful. And that's going to go out over on the other side for a Celtic throw-in. Celtic 1, Rangers 2. 20 minutes of the 90 to play.
It's incredible. We did say, though, at half-time that there would be a sting in the tail here if Celtic aren't capable of scoring that second goal.
There's been a lot of action and it's been exciting, but there's such a lack of quality at times.
Well, this is why a lot of people think Hearts will have a better chance as Moore picks up. Moore comes forward and scores! 3-1 Rangers! Moore races over to the Rangers supporters and the Celtic fans start pointing fingers. It's an outstanding finish by Moore. Picks up right-hand side of the box and arrows it low into the bottom left corner of the net. Some Celtic fans are leaving in disgust. The rest turn towards the board, turn towards the dugout. They don't know who to accuse first at the state they find themselves in. Is this the end for Wilfried Nancy? And is this the start of a title surge for Rangers and Danny Rule? Mikey Moore makes the scoreline on 71 minutes. Celtic 1, Rangers 3.
Well, it's just a ball played down the side of Trusty. He just turns and I think it's a speculative shot really across the goalkeeper. I don't know what you feel about it, Billy. As a striker, you'll know better than I. But and it goes under Schmeichel's hand.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it's a good fit. I just think Celtic are all over the place. As soon as they lose the ball, they're no shake, and it's just so easy. As much as Celtic were cutting Rangers open in the first half, Rangers, the ball breaks there, one slip pass, Moore's in. I think it's a really good finish where he drills it. Maybe Schmeichel, yeah, people look at him, but he gets it in that far corner. But it's not brilliant play for Rangers. It's just given away. Rangers get the ball, one pass, bang, 3-1.
I mean, the main stand off to our left, there are not just hundreds, there are thousands of Celtic fans howling all kinds of derision at the board. Michael Nicholson and the rest, I can see them off to our left. Celtic are going to bring on Shin Yamada, but my goodness, the dominant force in Scottish football for more than a decade is all over the place, and Chermiti's chasing another loose ball. Ralston back to Schmeichel and cleared with the right foot. This could get poisonous here, and Paki Bonner, I just don't see how Wilfried Nancy survives this.
No, listen, we talked about it before the game. This was going to be a huge game for him. Now, the first half they played really, really well. They created lots of chances, but the frailties were always there. He's just taken off Johnny Kenny, who's had a really good game.
Yeah, Yamada on, Hitate's coming on for Nygren as well.
Yeah, and that's not where the problems are. The problems aren't high up the pitch today. The problems is the shape of the back, the defensive qualities, and even in midfield, Hitate's come on. They've got to get back and winning the ball in midfield, which they did in the first half. They've lost out now in the second, and they're so vulnerable when they can't compete.
Trusty heads back to Schmeichel. So 3-1 Rangers, 73.5 minutes played. And Billy Dodds, if Rangers scored again, they would leapfrog Celtic. As it stands, they're one goal away from going above them. And when you think, when Russell Martin was emptied after that game at Falkirk, if you'd asked any Rangers supporter that they'd be in this position, would they be in this position come early January, they'd have thought you were off your head.
Absolutely. I mean, emptying half their board as well. I mean, it's just incredible what's going on at Rangers.
Hitate's lost out to Rascani, knocks it forward long, but Trusty gets stayed ahead of Chermiti. Danny Rowe with his arms outstretched down in front of us. Rangers looking good here for a third successive victory, which is a good reaction to their defeat at Tynecastle. But it does and will allow Hearts the opportunity to open up a 6-point lead at the top of the Premiership when they host Livingston later. There's a Dundee derby to come as well at Tannadice. Falkirk Aberdeen, Kilmarnock Hibs, Motherwell St Mirren. The rest of the Premiership action, Championship including St Johnstone Arbroath, Partick Thistle Morton. A few games have been called off, including at East End Park and Somerset Park. Full details at the website bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. 15 minutes left of this. Celtic 1, Rangers 3. A quite incredible scoreline. And it's one Danny Rowe can't quite believe either, given he was going in at half-time there, having received all kinds of blows in that first half, punches, but there wasn't a knockout blow delivered, and that's proved crucial.
He would have been absolutely delighted still to be in the game. It's as simple as that. Get round the team, make sure they're organised, try and get the next goal, get back in the game. But that's exactly what happened. You could feel it around the stadium today once Celtic never put the game to bed in the first half.
Yeah, once Diamandi coming onto the middle of the pitch too has given them a little bit more bite. They've won the battle in there in the second half, which they weren't doing in the first half, and Celtic, as soon as Celtic lost that battle, then they weren't able to get a hold of the ball, and all that penetration, all that's gone now, and then they couldn't defend as we've seen.
Pat, what was it like being a Celtic player in the mid-90s? Probably the last time the supporters turned on the club as they are right now.
Yeah, well, it was different, of course, it was different.
I know it's not for the same reasons.
Yeah, Celtic didn't have the money.
The last time there was proper turmoil.
Yeah, but I know that, to be honest, I can't remember too much about it. I kind of shook myself away from it, to be perfectly honest. It hurt it because we had such a really good team in the 80s, and we were winning things. We were competing with Aberdeen, Dundee United. Rangers weren't actually as competitive as they were in the 90s, but 90s had changed with a lot of money coming into Rangers, a lot of money. And
Celtic's very future was in doubt, wasn't it?
Yeah, we weren't able to compete, but they turned it around, and these things are cyclical, of course, also. But Celtic were in such a position to go from strength to strength, and that's been the biggest frustration, I think, from the Celtic fans.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on off to our left, but people are not looking at the football pitch anymore. It's Yang Hoon Jun down the left-hand side, midway inside the Rangers half. Sterling beats him to it and gets it up the line. Tierney tries to win it back. Yang tries to flick it forward, blocked by Raskan, and out for a Celtic throw-in on this near side. Celtic 1, Rangers 3 on 77. Billy Dodd.
Sterling's been impressive, even the first half when they had to defend at times. I mean, I know they get through Celtic time and time again, but it wasn't his fault. And in the second half, he has been an absolute rock, both defensively and getting himself forward. He's a big plus. Rangers getting him back.
Araujo down the right-hand side of the Rangers box. Engels across. Butland holds on at his near post. Maida and Yamada were both going for it. Yamada was at the near post, Maida at the back post. Butland prevented both of them getting anything on it, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 3.
Yeah, he may have been sort of question marks over him for the first goal at Celtic, but I think he's had some really good saves and interceptions throughout this game, Butland.
It's that side again, though, that Rangers left, down Celtic's right, that quick ball, and they get in down that side. It's I don't know if he got a touch on it and it blocked off somebody and just sat for him, but Rangers get away with one. But it's better from Celtic, but Rangers sniff blood. You feel as if they could get more in this game if they really apply themselves going forward.
5 defeats in his first 7 games. Wilfried Nancy, he's now staring down the barrel of defeat to Rangers at home as Sharmiti pulls it back into the Celtic box. It's Gassama cross. Araujo gets there ahead of Moore and clears. Almost felt the Moore at the back post. Raskan picks up on the far side for Rangers. We're looking for more here. Araujo with a foul on Raskan. Free kick, Rangers over on the touchline, midway inside the Celtic half. This could easily get worse for Celtic.
Yeah, it's been a very, very poor second half from them, I've got to say, compared to that first half where they were dominant, they were buoyant, their confidence was up, they were creating things. Second half, completely the opposite, really, and Rangers have dominated.
McHoma over the free kick, or at least he was. Barron's come over to that far side now. as they look to wound Nancy again. It's played short to Diamonde, and it comes from Miti, goes for it. Schmeichel punches it away. Yang picks up ahead of Gassama and smashes it clear with the right foot. Sterling with the cushion header out to this near side for Connor Barron, who keeps it in play, and he's done well on the deck to find Gassama. And now it's Moore. Moore up towards the edge of the box, throws it to his left for Raskan. Through it comes, it almost broke to Gassama, and it goes behind for the goal kick. May well have been offside, but anyway, Engels having a go at the assistant. Schmeichel takes it quickly out to Ralston, and then out to Arojo on the far side. Celtic have got 10 minutes left to fix this. They trail Rangers by 3-1 at home.
Sniff blood, I said it. I mean, Rangers know that they are just... I know that the phrase gets thrown out there all over the place. I've never seen a Celtic team as open and as poor as this for a long, long time. They are just... They don't suit the system. I'm sorry.
They don't. I'm looking also now, they took it off Johnny Kenny. Yamada up front. I don't think he's touched the ball really since he's come on. Maeda up alongside him, playing a conventional, 5 across the middle with a 2 up front. But Maeda, where is he really dangerous? Out in this left-hand side, running from left, inside and beyond. I don't just get it, those changes.
How, Paggy, do you think Celtic will just rip this up and just try and move on, whether Martin O'Neill comes back or what? Do you think they just rip up this Wilfried Nancy chapter and almost pretend it didn't happen?
They have to make a big decision now. They're going into the transfer window. That was always the issue, I think, with Martin O'Neill, interim manager. You have a window coming up. Do you go with maybe players that he is picking or somebody else is picking to play and that window was vitally important for them, because they had to bring in at least two players. Now with this whole system, do you stay with the manager and allow him to make those decisions, or do you get rid of the manager now and then you bring Martin back, and again question marks, should he be the one that's picking the players with a new manager maybe coming in the summer? These are all big questions.
I mean, and to be honest with you, when this kind of episode in a football club comes along, it's not just the manager, someone else is to fall as well. We've seen it at Rangers this season, and it would be no surprise if there are people upstairs at Celtic who will have to follow Wilfried Nancy out of the door. This is an almighty story. Who knows how it's going to develop over the course of the next few hours, but unless Celtic turn this around, and given what we've seen in the second half, there looks no chance of that, then it's all eyes on what Celtic do next. Rangers leading 3-1, 8 minutes to play. A joyous afternoon for them is in the offing. Here's Moore looking to get it through to Gassama. Is he on or off? It's not going to matter. It's going out for a Celtic throw-in anyway. Celtic 1, Rangers 3. Well, it's going to be a house of cards here.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult at the moment for anybody that's involved with Celtic in a leadership role. For the manager, of course, we know that, but also other people, and they're just desperate. I'm sure they were so desperate for that second goal to come in that first half to take the pressure off, and it would have been a momentous result for them if they had to get it. But it hasn't happened, and adds to the pressure, adds to immense pressure.
Closing stages of the derby here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland across the frequencies. It is Ralston with a long ball. Out to the left-hand side, Yang on the left of the Rangers box. Infield to Hatate. Hatate's ball, he's looking to play it out to the right, is cut out. And it is cleared. Celtic collect with Engels over on the far side. Infield to McGregor, short to Hatate. Back out onto the chest of Arojo, taking on Moore. Down the far side, Moore tries to see it behind for the goal kick. Has he done that? No, it's a corner to Celtic. Can they make something happen? Can they make a fist of this? Well, 3-1 down, 83 and a half on the clock.
Well, they need to get something very, very quickly now. And set piece isn't one of their strengths, but anything can happen. Put it into an area, get good movement.
Well, Russell Martin lasted 17 games. They've got some odds on a Celtic manager beating that in one season. In comes the corner on the far side. It's poor, it's away by Barron. Breaks back to Engels. Celtic got a grandstand finish in them. Infield to McGregor. He's fallen right out of it in the second half, just as his teammates have. Hatate bends across and it's deep, headed back across the face, and Butland holds on and prevents it getting to Maida, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 3 on 84 minutes.
Offside anyway in that far area, but let play go on, Liam. I mean, it's just playing out time for Rangers now. You'd never have thought that at half-time, but so much in command in this second half, whether they've done the right things at the right moments, but Celtic have just capitulated.
And the cue is for more and more and more Celtic supporters to head out of the stadium where they've enjoyed all the success in the world in the last 10-15 years, and how they have fallen from where they were to where they are is quite remarkable.
And I wasn't Rangers being brilliant, cutting up. They were just running forward a wee bit more. They were getting more possession in midfield in the second half, and then it was Celtic's frailties in defence though was so obvious for those goals, those 3 goals. I've got to say.
Celtic players down there all standing hands on hips as Gassama comes off to be replaced by Tavernier. They just don't know where to look. They don't know how to deal with this situation. It's quite incredible.
They're not even reacting to the referee, and Gassama's just taking his time. And you know, if I was out in that pitch, I would be screaming at the referee to get him off. They're just standing around in a daze.
Just love to know what's going through the head of Callum McGregor right now. A man who has enjoyed all kinds of incredible victories over his storied Celtic career, the captain of this club, and where they find themselves, what's going through his mind.
Doesn't look good, but you can say that for a few of them.
Sterling with the free kick, clipped forward, headed clear, and Engels completes the clearance. Raskan heads it back midway inside the Celtic half. Diamonde gives it straight to Yang though. Now it's with Hatate, who finds Ralston. Celtic score now. They could potentially set up a frantic finish, but doesn't look likely. Ralston shifts it right to left of the centre circle for Trusty, who crosses halfway and rolls it out to Tierney on this near side. Down the line for Yang and back to Tierney. Tierney finds Trusty. Will then move it to Ralston.
Where's the runs forward now? Where's that penetration?
That's going to go because Rangers now just a back 5 solid. I know they rolled into it at times, but they were a 4-2-3-1 today, and but now a back 5 solid, just seeing the game out.
Rangers were trailing, and in a 22-minute period in the second half, they've completely turned the tables. Forrest and Scales coming on for Celtic, and that's a ball given away by Hatate. Ralston with an up and under. Forward it goes. Fernandes makes the challenge, and Yamada and heads it out for a throw-in on the far side. Rangers have been better in the second half, but I mean, it's going to be very difficult to find a better opportunity for a team outside of these two to win the league this season than the one presenting itself to Hearts right now, as Tierney's replaced by Scales. Forrest's going to come on as well.
What, 3 minutes to go?
He's on for Ralston.
It's number 49, James Forrest.
Yeah, we played, well, there's 2 minutes of the 90 left. 2 from Shermiti, 1 from Moore, completely wiping out Yang's opener in the first half. Celtic have a throw-in level with the 18-yard line of Rangers over on the north stand side. Hui in, Arojo with it, and he's bowled it straight to Meghoma. Incredible, Meghoma's right beside him and he just threw it at him. Up to Shermiti, who knocks it off. Truss staying out for a Rangers throw-in on the far side. It's going to be all kinds of headlines tomorrow in the papers. There might even be headlines tonight coming out of this place, and who knows how many are going to gather outside the main stand after this to give the board some more.
I get you, Liam. I mean, as much as Rangers have done the right things in this second half, Celtic have been just brutally bad.
Yeah. But kind of all over the place, no structure to it.
Everything.
Just all that stuff that they were doing in the first half is completely missing in the second half. They're just running around, keeping the ball as they normally do, and nothing. And,
2 subs, 3 minutes to go, as you said. Just, I mean, something will have to give. There's no doubt.
Well, they've got a game against Dundee United next. Do Celtic. At home next weekend. Rangers next in action on Tuesday at home to Aberdeen's a double header against the Dons, actually, because they're at Pittodrie a week tomorrow. And Schmeichel picks up a ball back to him from Trusty, and then he moves it to his left for Scales. It's the edge of his box, forward to Hatate. Looking for Scales, gives it straight to Moore though. Scales was then under pressure. It's now with Tavernier. Moore on the right, Sharmiti's waiting in the middle, and remember, he's on a hat-trick. Tavernier joins him in the box. Scales with the challenge, and out for a Rangers throw-in, level with the 6-yard line. We're in the 90th minute, well into it. Celtic 1, Rangers 3. I mean, this has petered out as a contest since that third goal.
Yeah, it has, and
5 minutes added.
5 minutes, and it's going to be
Moore down by the corner flag, finds Sharmiti. Here is Tavernier. I'd love another goal, Rangers, just to rub Celtic's noses in it. And it's going to be a foul and a free kick to Celtic deep inside their own half.
I think they'd be quite happy with the 3, to be honest. And to be in a situation where they were outplayed in the first half, could have been at least 2 or 3 goals of Celtic. To be in a commanding situation at the end of this game, it's quite an incredible story.
You can't hang his hat on that, Nancy, can he, post-match? Talk about how great they were in the first half and hope that that's going to paper over the cracks.
It's another
do that.
It's another thing he's got to do. Whether he survives or not, it doesn't matter. He has got to keep his answers short. He can't get into detail. No Celtic fan wants to hear that. They just want to hear how he's going to work hard to change it. It's going to be short and sharp, but so might his Celtic career.
I don't think the Celtic fans want to hear another word from him. Going by the reaction we've seen here, as Bojan Mijovski replaces Sharmiti, there'll be no hat-trick for the Rangers striker. You've got 2 of the 3. They've turned this in their favour as Mijovski goes in on Scales with the studs, and he's just on, and he's yellow carded on his old Aberdeen teammate. Scales, to be fair to him, has bounced back up.
Yeah, he has indeed. It was one of them where he's obviously kicked through, and Mijovski's dived in a little bit. I think both of them were maybe contacted the ball at the same time, and they got away with it.
Callum McGregor in the centre circle. We are moving through the stoppage time, almost 2 of the 5 played. Scales forward to Hatate, finds Yang, back to Hatate.
That's all good play, fine from Celtic, but now is there an execution at the end of it? Can they do something?
Here's Forrest, on the edge of the box. Forrest goes for goal, it's blocked, breaks back to Arojo. Right foot ball comes in, and then Yang goes down. Was he fouled inside the box? Some Celtic supporters are claiming for it, but it's all really half-heartedly as Rangers clear, as Trusty rolls it out to Scales on the left. Scales bends the left foot cross ball in, it's beaten Suter. Maida gets a little touch onto it, still he chases after it. Maida blocked and away out to the far side. Even if they score now, it's like the game against Hearts, they did score at this period, but there was no time left to score another. As the cross comes in, there's a header which Yamada got to, but he doesn't get enough purchase on it, and it breaks out to this left-hand side. Scales finds Yang. Feels like a heck of a long time ago since that dribble and goal from Yang Hyun-jun gave Celtic the lead. Finlay Curtis waiting to come on for Rangers in a moment. We've played almost 3 of the 5 that were added. James Forrest up to the edge of the Rangers box, no way through, blocked by Raskan. McGregor out to Engels, and then Arojo level with the Rangers penalty spot. Pulls it back to Hatate at the edge of the area, clips the ball, and it's decent. Rangers head wins that with Suter. Heads it out to this near side. And then the ball in from Yang is cut out by Tavernier. And then Hatate picks up Moores all over him. Hatate turns away from him and moves towards the box. Short to Yang, out wide left for Forrest. Level with the 6-yard line. Back to Yang. Knocking on the door, but it's all way too late for Celtic. Arojo, right-hand side of the box, smashes it across, and Butland spills it behind for the corner. Celtic 1, Rangers 3. We played almost 4 of the 5 minutes that were added on at the end.
Yeah, Arojo, describe him, he looks like a dynamic player.
Tenacious,
yeah.
Back out to Arojo. And his ball in is cut out by Mekhoma and behind for another corner. Celtic finishing on the front foot, but half of their support is gone. Long gone in some cases. Many left when the third Rangers goal went in.
I think the board will be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, but there's plenty stayed as well to have a pop at them in just about 60 seconds. In comes the corner. Header from Raskans behind for another Celtic corner. My goodness, where do the champions go from here?
Yeah.
6 defeats in 8 for Nancy.
It's an incredible story. It's been a story of about 2 or 3 games this year, dominating parts of it and then just absolutely vulnerable then.
In comes the corner, headed away by Fernandes. It's such a difficult first half. We're talking about Danny Rule having to hook him. Here's Arojo, infield to McGregor. Chip ball comes in, easy for Butland, gathers with both gloves. And that, Billy Dodds, will be just about that. It's going to be a fabulous result for Rangers, a brilliant day for Rangers.
Absolutely. I mean, and they have been ruthless. I don't think Rangers have been brilliant in the game, but they won it 3-1. Celtic have been rotten.
That's it. It's victory for Rangers. An incredible comeback victory for them. They trailed to a Yang goal in 20 minutes. Turning it around in the second half. A double from Shamiti and one from Mikey Moore to plunge Wilfried Nancy and Celtic into further turmoil and crisis here. Do Celtic have to make a change? It looks that way right now because it's 6 defeats from 8 for the beleaguered Celtic manager. And it's looking like the shortest tenure by a stretch for a Celtic boss. Going back to when they last did this number of points after these number of matches when John Barnes was in charge. But for Danny Rule and Rangers, it's his biggest win yet as Rangers boss. And it's put them level on points with the champions. And they were just 1 goal away from going above them as they move to within 3 points of the leaders' hearts, albeit having played a game more. Celtic are in full-on crisis mode, as Rangers were earlier in the season, when there was more than just the manager's head rolling. And they're on a roll under Danny Rule. It finished here at Celtic Park, a quite extraordinary derby. Celtic 1, Rangers 3.
This Scottish